year. We're going to do something a little bit different on this webinar. We thought that given where the industry is and given where Clarifresh is in terms of experience with this industry over the last 8 years, it would be interesting to pause and take a look at how the industry has evolved from a quality perspective over the last 8 years. And then actually we want to talk about what's most important, which is how we think about the next 8 years. And probably even the next kind of 3 to 4 years in terms of development. And the best person, I believe, to do it, definitely within our company, but probably also in the industry, is my co-founder and COO and the guy that runs product, Avi Schwartzer, who actually was the one that came up with this crazy idea back in 2017. And together with Ruby and our team have been able to build what we have today. So that's kind of what we're going to try and do today. I do see a few familiar names on the list here and a few that are not, which is also great. So bear with us for probably the next 20 minutes. My thinking is we're going to go through some agenda that we prepared for the next 20 minutes. Which include a little bit of a demos as well. And then we'll just open it for a question, which I do suspect you guys are going to have a bunch, and Malki will run this process of the Q&A for us towards the tail of this call. Okay, so that's kind of the game plan for the next half an hour or so. And I'm going to kick off. And what I'm going to do is, hold on, let me just drag the PowerPoint presentation so I can share it with you guys. I'm not going to go through a lot of slides. We actually only have 2 slides that we want to focus on, and we're going to integrate it with real life demo of some of the innovation we're going to talk about. But I do want to start with to give some perspective to all of us on this call, essentially of what we're trying to do, right? Specifically with Clarifresh, and we're going to transition very quickly to an industry perspective, but specifically within Clarifresh, about 8 years ago, we went and said we're going to want to build an AI-powered quality management solution for this industry. The question is why? And the reason, hopefully you guys can still see my overall screen. The reason we did it is because when we started this company, we actually went and we talked to about 55 big players in the industry, starting from retailers, wholesalers, and some of the biggest marketing companies globally across North America and EMEA. And when we asked them, what are the key drivers of inefficiencies and rejections for you guys and the resulting waste, there were different answers, but we've identified one big common denominator, and that is what all of us call in the industry is quality mismatch. What is a quality mismatch? Quality mismatch is a lose-lose scenario where the seller, whether it's the grower or the marketing company, packer, shipper, does not get the price that she wanted, and the buyer does not get the quality that he expected. And when we went deeper into those conversations, we've identified 3 key drivers for why a quality mismatch may happen. Reason number 1, people across the supply chain speak different language with respect to quality, lack of standardization. We're going to touch upon that in one moment. Reason number 2 is even if there was fully standardized quality process from the field down to the front store for Walmart, the entire inspection process, at least back in 2018, was fully manual, right? External attributes, defects, all being judged by the human person, and some of the internal attributes were already collected by industry devices, as we are familiar with. But primarily, the inspection process was still very subjective, which is the number 2 reason for why a quality mismatch has happened. And then the third issue, as I think most of you guys know, is that there is limited amount of data and analytics that are being generated in real time to enable you guys to make decisions based on data rather than rely on intuition of you or your inspectors or whatever was the pre-planned by the sales guy 2 days before that through the ERP system. And those were the three issues that we've identified as we went back in 18 and started to build a platform. And essentially, what we want to talk about today is the journey that we've done since 2018 throughout today. And funny enough, the three buckets that we're going to talk about are going to be the three addressing each one of those three issues that I just mentioned. And then we're going to talk a little bit about where we see each one of those buckets evolving, how it's going to be evolving in the next few years. Okay, so that's kind of the framework of what we want to do today. I'll kick off a little bit about what we've done until today, and then I'll invite Avi to talk about the interesting stuff on where we want to take each one of those buckets over the next few years. So issue number one, as I just mentioned, was essentially lack of common language, of standardization across the supply chain of how one essentially translates and evaluates quality, right? Back in 18, it was all based on a freestyle manual docs. It could be 20, 30-page PDF document. It could be something you guys have put in an Excel, which is still an unstructured data document, and you shared it with your suppliers or with your customers. But nevertheless, it was a primarily manual document. What we've done over the last 8 years or 7 and a change years is try and help the supply chain digitalize this quality spec language and create essentially one common language to communicate and evaluate quality across the entire supply chain. I think there is still limitation where most of you are operating within your own silo with that solution. And I'm going to invite Avi actually at this point to talk a little bit about how he thinks about it today and where we want to take it for the next 4 to 5 years. Avi, let me know if you want me to drop my sharing or keep it for now. You're
Yes,
muted.
I will need you to drop your sharing so I can share.
Okay.
Okay, guys, can you see my screen? Okay, great. So as Elad mentioned, after in the past there was each organization has created its own spec in kind of a free text language. So what we did, we gone over hundreds of existing specs from all over the world because there was different kind of spec in different geolocations. And we kind of broke these very long documents, could be 20-page Word PDF documents, and we kind of broke it into a very short mathematical sentence. So as some of you probably know, we kind of took the spec and we broke it into two main pieces, which is the process, or what kind of information would you like to collect during the QC process, and the standard, which is how you take all the things that you collected and translate it into quality grade. So regarding processes, what kind of information you would like to collect, we broke it into 5 different potential steps. And each step has a very strict sentence of what kind of information I would like to collect. So in this case, I would like to collect a checklist, and inside it, a damage packet, yes or no. This is the checklist. When we go into the standard, again, we created a mathematical expression that eventually will tell you regarding the information I have collected, is it red, orange, or green? So it's not up to the inspector anymore to decide which is what the grade is. It's the system does it. And what you see here is what is operating already today. in over 30 countries around the globe. Around 3 million inspections are using this technology. So this is the existing. And as Elad mentioned, this is work today mainly within a silo. So within a certain company, all the information exists, but it exists within the company. What do we plan for the future? We will help our customer to proliferate their spec outside. This means that it will get much easier visibility from a customer perspective to help to see what his supplier is doing within his QC operation and to give insight to his buyers in advance, in real time. So let's imagine that we have a buyer and a seller. The buyer will be able to see the QC results while the merchandise is still within the seller facilities. And this will help these guys to decide whether or not this is good enough for the buyer to purchase, and the buyer will give the okay to this merchandise to be shipped. And obviously, we assume that the more visibility we have, the less rejection rate, the rejection rate eventually will decline. Elad, back to you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Avi. I'm going to go back to my slide, guys. And essentially, so what Avi touched upon is on, I'm sorry, I gave you kind of a look into the next two rows. So I'll focus on the first one again. Essentially, what we're introducing now is the ability to export your spec to your suppliers, to your customers, and essentially make sure everyone uses the same language when they evaluate quality based on your spec. We already have a couple of customers, by the way, who have kicked off this initiative with their suppliers, and more to be announced on that in the next few months. Okay, second bucket, data collection, right? I think if you guys remember, the second issue I was talking about is the fact that most of the inspection process was primarily manual back in 2018. And I think a lot of you know we have spent a lot of effort into automating the data capture through the computer vision algorithm of the Clarifresh app on your phone of external attributes, which essentially means size and color derivative, including stem color for whatever is relevant. I think we've done a great job on that front. We cover about 25 categories today, which are probably about 80% of the volume of a Walmart or a Morrison store in their market. And it's been working commercially very effectively for the last 4 years with millions of inspections. Avi?
Yeah, so are we doing the demo now?
So maybe you want to talk a little bit about the future, and then I'll
Yes.
kick in.
Sure. So the future, so at the moment we have this, what we call the level 2, which is detecting the size and the color of around 26 to 28 categories. So it will cover 70% of the majority of our customers' volume within QC inspections. And in the future, we are working to extend it to do the defect automatic detection. So the difference between attribute and defect is an attribute is something that always exists, like size. You always have a size for a product. It might be smaller, too small, or too big, but we always have a size. We always have a color. A defect is something that might exist and might not. Usually, it's a bad thing. So defects are harder to detect, harder to do a very good job in detecting defect detection. We need a lot of data assets in order to do this. And we are happy to announce that we are now working, we are in a very advanced stages of developing the defect detection for citrus. And we hope it will be commercialized this year in 26 for oranges. And we'll be happy to show you a demo of how it's working.
Yeah, and that would be me. doing it. So I'm trying to share my screen, guys, and my mobile app. Give me one sec. I think you should see my
Yeah,
mobile app now, right?
yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So Avi was talking about what we're working on now. Citrus is the first one, which hopefully will be commercialized very, very soon. It's already now at the hands of a couple of our design partners in North America in the fields. We do expect to expand it. I'll talk about it a little bit more after we do the demo. So I'm going to do a very quick demo on how it works. So I'm just starting a new inspection. I chose oranges. That's what I have here. This is, if you can see in the process row, which is the third from the top, it says automatic defect. So I'm clicking next. The first screen is usually just being filled in automatically by scanning the barcode. The first screen is actually level 2 automation, which means size and color. Okay, so I got a bunch of oranges on my desk here. I'm just standing next to it, and I'm taking a bunch of pictures. As you guys, I think most of you know, as long as I'm using an iOS Pro device, there is effectively no limitation in terms of angle, distance, from a user interface perspective. And what's happening now is the algorithm through those green rectangles is analyzing size and color or color, secondary color, color coverage automatically. I'm going to click next, and that's where it becomes interesting. So I'm moving into the defect screen. In the current commercial versions, you will have a customized screen that your quality manager has pre-configured on the platform. And so your inspector will go through the list of defects, identify it manually, and document it through a picture. But with this next generation technology, all you need to do is click on the camera again. And as you can see, the algorithm will analyze automatically the defects. This is kind of a hybrid between a video exercise and a still. So you want to hover above the oranges from different directions to make sure that the algorithm captures the defects from all relevant angles. The one cool thing that we've added over the last few months, given this is still in development mode, is, let's say, if you guys can see the bottom right orange, it says the algorithm identified the defect there as an open wound. Let's say you disagree with that. You can click on that, and actually you can see how the computer vision tells you with a small yellow arrow on which orange are we talking about, and a window with your list of defects will pop up, and you're going to be able to override this call of this algorithm if you disagree. This is essentially, we call it the Tesla mode. It's kind of a hybrid mode to bridge between the algorithm accuracy now, which is somewhere around 70 to 80%. It's not bad, but it's not at 90, 95%, which is where we are in size and color. And we believe that this override ability in real time for the inspector at the field is gonna be that bridge in the near term. And that's about it. I'm going to click on the icon at the top right corner called done. And then you can see the defect list coming up. You can switch to the fruits list and see how the computer vision analyzes each one of the fruits individually with the different pictures. So it remembers the specific orange and can allocate the pictures that were taken for each specific fruit or a berry. And you can go back to the overall defect list. And so that's kind of the how the automatic defect works. I'm going to click on next. And the next one is essentially different internal attributes that you want to collect. Again, depending on the produce, we have configured here bricks. I actually have a refractometer next to me, so I'm going to attach it to the phone. And as I think a lot of you know, you can essentially transmit the information from a refractometer or durometer automatically to the app. think the bricks I have here is probably more of a table grape, so it's going to be very sweet. But I think you guys got the point. I'm going to enter an acidity data point, and essentially that's about it. I clicked on next, and as you can see in the results screen, the computer vision has essentially analyzed automatically the diameter, size group, and the defects, which in this specific occurrence was 6% out of a inspection site of 50, and it shows the overall grade, which is the red group in this case, based on the specific aspects that were entered. So that's how the level 3 automatic defect works. As Avi mentioned, it should be fairly soon out commercially available in the market. The next two categories that are going to come on the heels of that will be strawberry and blueberries. And actually, we're going to kick off the work on strawberries with multiple design partners in the next months, and blueberry is going to follow that very soon after that. We essentially aspire to have a very large portfolio of fully automatic inspection process, including size, color, defects, and obviously internal attributes, which are already objective, available to the market for the most important categories over the next couple of years. So that's kind of where we're going with that. I'm gonna stop the sharing of my phone and bring back the presentation to the last sorry, continue. Yeah. To the last topic we want to talk today, which is analytics. So from a reporting and analytics perspective, essentially until probably a couple of years ago, the key capability that each one of you had was the ability to build a customized report, whether it's from an Excel or from a third-party kind of database, after you enter the data into that database, and then send that report manually, whether it's through an email or any other mechanism, to a customer. We spent a lot of effort in that specific area over the last 2 years, and I'm going to invite Avi actually to walk through the kind of the real-time analytics that we've introduced over the last 3 months to the market, and then talk a little bit about where we want to take it over the next few years.
Thank you, Elad. Okay, so in the past, usually most of the inspector were using kind of a piece of paper and a pen or an Excel sheet. So while doing the inspection, once they finished the inspection, they transmitted the grade into the ERP system or the management system, but the rest of the data stayed within the tray or within their own computer. So if, for example, you want to ask smart question like, give me the bricks breakdown of all of my suppliers, it needed to do a lot of work. Somebody needs to go manually over all the Excel sheets, over the PDFs, over the piece of paper, and collect the information there manually. It will take days to deliver such information. And today we presented the Ask Me Anything. Sorry. And the Ask Me Anything will allow you to ask any question in the system, ChatGPT style. So you can ask any question that pops onto your head, and it will browse our entire database repository. Obviously, all the information is there. What kind of breaks, what kind of grading, what kind of defects has gone through the system. So you just type the question, and for example, give me the breakdown of major and minor defect in grower in the last year, and press the button, and this is it. It will go over the system, and in 1 minute it will give you the answer. So something that took probably days before that, you can get in just 1 minute, and all the information is in the tip of your toes. So this is the information. Obviously, you can ask any type of information in any language, and the system will work. So this is the reality this year. And what do we expect in the future? So we expect going from reporting into insight that will help your business. So what kind of insight? The system will give you an alert. For example, you want to know if there was if the rejection rate is higher than 5% in the last week. You want notification if such event has happened, and the system will automatically find you and alert you if such will happen. You want to know if the bricks level in the last month has gone over 20% of bricks, because this means you have a better quality of table grapes. Maybe you can get higher price for your merchandise. The system will alert you. The system will help you to find who is the best match for your system. We actually do it right now, but it will do it in a smarter way. Or for example, you want to know that in the last month you have the grading of the tomato is lower, is B minus in the last month. This is kind of information that the system will automatically calculate and automatically will let you know. So it will help you to run your business in a smoother way. Elad, back to you. You're on mute.
Great. Thank you, Avi. Appreciate it. So I just want to share one more thing with you guys before we open the conversation. Just one sec. Okay. So let me just share my screen again. Okay, so I want to finish up with where we want to go as a company and as an industry over the next 5 years. We started this conversation by talking about the issues that we've identified from a quality perspective. We've talked over the last 20 minutes on how we think we can advance those issues on your behalf so far, and then for the next 3 to 4 years. And I just want to summarize it by sharing essentially the vision that we have for the industry. And the vision is to be able to set one objective global standard for how everyone communicates and evaluate quality. And the thought process is essentially that if we are successful in partnering with each one of you guys on that vision, that would result in significantly less quality mismatch, and as a result of that, rejections and claims, and ultimately waste. As some of you know, we have started about 4.5 years ago with this initiative in the middle segment of the supply chain, the package shipper marketing companies. We have almost 100 customers today. Most of them are the largest in what they do globally. We've expanded into the wholesaler and actually retailer, and we'll announce a couple of those in the next few weeks. And we are welcoming now every player in this supply chain, from seed developers like Sunwold, who's our strategic partner, to multiple growers who work with our large customers, and obviously marketing, wholesale, and retailer companies, as well as a couple of regulators that we are actually partnering with today. So that's really the vision for this company. We still have a lot of work to do, as Avi mentioned, and we're very focused on that over the next few years. And we would love to have the opportunity to partner with each one of you on that journey. So I'm going to pause here. Hopefully, you guys have gained a little bit from the last 25 minutes. And Malki, maybe we go and talk a little bit about some questions that are out there.
Yes, absolutely. So we have 2 questions. For now, waiting for more to come in. When will it be ready for apples?
Okay. So I think I mentioned before, from a roadmap perspective, from the level 3, the defect identification, citrus is number 1 already and kind of out there. Strawberry and blueberry are going to follow them this year. And I think after that, we have a couple of other categories. Apples and table grapes and probably raspberries are going to follow that. So Apple will be in the mix for the defect automation in the next 2 years in terms of commercialization. And we're probably going to start actually the work with a couple of our global design partners in the next few months.
Thank you. Do we have any quality defect data on lettuce and spinach?
Avi, do you want to take that? I don't know if it's necessarily level 3 question.
Yeah, so the answer is for digitization level 1, we do. We have defect information for all produce categories, over 50 produce categories, including lettuce. Regarding level 3, which is automatic detection by computer vision by the camera on the smartphone, the answer at the moment, no. But at some point, we'll definitely have, since lettuce is a very sensitive product.
Okay, thank you. In how many years will it take to have level 3 inspections available for the same commodities that can do level 2?
So I guess, okay, the same commodities. With level 2, we have 26 commodities at the moment. With level 3, as we mentioned, we have 2 in beta. So it will take some time. Obviously, it's also amount of capital raise and amount of expansion. So the bigger our customer, it's also amount of data assets, because there is a need for huge data assets in order to develop the level 3. We need around 10,000 of picture per defect per produce, and the defect should come from different geolocations, different years, different time of the year, different inspectors. So it's kind of takes quite a lot of time, and we thank our customers that help us to collect this amount of data. How much time will it take? Very hard to say. I would say it will take a couple of years at least.
Okay. There's a question here. What approximate percentage of users fall into each segment?
I'll take it generally. Look, as I mentioned, I think we really started to go to market about 4.5 years ago, mid-21. And the focus has been package shipper and marketing companies. So the vast majority of our customers and users are falling today to mostly pack houses and distribution centers. I do think this is gonna be diversifying significantly in 2026 because we see a very strong demand coming from the wholesale and retail segment. But I think we're still, given our leadership position today globally, but primarily in North America and the Americas, we see the package shipper segment continue to grow significantly.
The questions are coming in. Do we want to answer them all now, or should we answer them in an email?
No, I think we can continue for probably 4 more minutes, if that's okay, Malki.
Okay, there's a question in Spanish. I hope I understood your Spanish. For pears, someone is asking for pears, the vision and
So,
size.
yes, I guess you mentioned level 2 for pears. I think this should come again somewhere in the next 2 years. We'll do pears as well. I think most of the pears growers or packing house will do apples as well, and usually apples is the biggest commodity, and we do have apples at least.
Okay, thank you. Are there any plans to further customize and filter through the dashboard for quick quality comparison and overview?
Okay, I'm not sure I fully understood the question. We always improve our dashboard. If there is a need for specific customization, I will be happy to take it through the product. If you have a detailed requirement, the product team will be happy to hear your suggestion.
And maybe just on that point, we didn't touch it actually on today's call, but we have introduced a significantly revamped capabilities around the dashboard. I think we have almost 10 reports, different reports now available. So I do encourage you guys to take a look. And as Avi mentioned, if there are still requests coming in, please share it with us because we're actually doing those upgrades based on your request. So we view it very favorably.
Okay. I guess there's a question there also for the AI that you mentioned. Are we going to have an AI assistant for the QC as an AI insight feature as the AI insight feature currently caters managers' needs?
Or the manager can add specs in QC and raise and get answers instantly. I don't know, Avi or Jane, do you think it's something we're not doing, or how do you guys think about it?
I'm not sure I fully understand the question. Can you please rewrite the question so we'll get better understanding of what exactly do you need?
Okay, and we'll go on here to the last one. How long does a blueberry inspection take, let's say for 20 pallets container, if you perform approximately 10 sample inspections with your system?
Okay, it's very difficult to say how much time does it take to do an inspection because there's different process, different specs within each organization. I would tell you that with level 2, we usually cut at least 50% of your existing inspection time. So if it takes at the moment 20 minutes, it will take you less than 10. And obviously, all the information will be in the database, so you'll have a better reporting as well. So it will save you time in the reporting.
Okay, do we have time for one more?
Yeah, let's do last one.
Okay, in terms of defects detected by computer vision, do these also include internal defects apart from external, like black rots, black hearts in avocados or potatoes?
Yeah. Unfortunately, technology today allows you to detect only things that are visible to the human eye. So internal defects are not part of that. But technology keep evolving. So in the future, we have technology like hyperspectral that will allow you to detect internal defects as well. This is something that we monitor and try all the time. It's not there yet, but it will be at some point.
Okay, thank you, Avi and Elad.
So I just want to say one more thing. Guys, we are going to be almost in full capacity next week in Berlin for the Europeans of you or the guys who are venturing coming to Berlin next week. And we would love to see all of you guys in our booth and actually show a little bit in person some of the stuff we talked about today and also get a better understanding of your input on what you would like to see. So please reach out and let us know if you're around, and we'd love to set up a meeting. Avi will be there, so am I, and the rest of my sales team. So we are looking forward to seeing you guys next week in person. And for the Americans guys, I will be back to US in late Feb for the SEPC conference in Orlando. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys over there.
Great, thank you.
I want
We'll
to
also be
encourage.
sorry,
I just want to encourage all the great questions I can see here to reach us for support. I can see a great issues we already started to invest in them, and it will be great to hear your requests. Thank you. Please reach the support.
Okay, thank you. And we'll be sending out also a follow-up email with a recording. So please look out for that and feel free, as Jane mentioned, to drop us any questions. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.